China warned the US it would escalate this trade battle if the US escalated its own tariffs against China, and now we have the numbers from China. The government announcing that it's threatening to place duties on $60 billion worth of US imports into China. Now, those would range on a sliding scale from 5%, not that much, up to 25%. And this is significant because Donald Trump's administration wants to impose duties on an extra $200 billion of Chinese imports at a flat 25% rate. And the Chinese government strategy here has been deliberate. It says these tariffs would be rational and restrained. That's shorthand for saying it doesn't want to hit consumers. So, for example, on this list of some 5,000 products and so on, we see lots of tariffs on shoe parts, but not the shoes themselves. Now, we don't know when these tariffs might come into place, but it might be reasonable to suppose they would happen should Trump push through with those tariffs on an extra $200 billion of Chinese imports. That might happen in the autumn. Well, it's been months since these two sides spoke to each other formally with trade talks, but it doesn't mean they're not speaking, if only at other meetings. And so it proved Wang Yi, the Chinese foreign minister, meeting his US counterpart Mike Pompeo on the sidelines of the Association of Southeast Asian Nations. Here's what Wang said afterwards.
We are willing to resolve the concerns of both sides through talks on the basis of an equal footing and mutual respect. Mr. Pompeo was accommodating on this as a direction and said that he does not want current frictions to continue.
Well, if that statement sounds vague, that's because these two sides, if they're talking, simply will not engage on those elusive details about how to resolve this trade war. And yet it's worth pointing out that at that same summit, Wang Yi met the EU's foreign chief to talk about free trade. So there are always alternative customers and clients in these trade battles. China has limited room for maneuver in all of this, mainly because it imports so much less from the US than it sends the other way. But it can hit the US where it hurts. The US wants to become a world exporter of liquefied natural gas, and tariffs on that export are included in this proposed list. This battle is also rattling financial markets because these two countries, the world's two biggest economies, can use currencies to hurt each other's economies. If that all sounds like an unintended consequence, consider this. GM, one of the big automakers here in the United States, makes one of its Buick models in China. It's now asking the US government to exclude it from tariffs because those cars coming back the other way to be sold in the United States could be hit with punitive tariffs. An illustration in a trade war, it's very, very easy to shoot yourself in the foot. Back to you.